Dean Vagnozzi, president of A Better Financial Plan. In a minute, I'm going to introduce you to what I feel is the single most versatile financial product in existence and why you need to make it 25 to 50% of your long-term retirement portfolio. And I will be shocked if you don't agree with me by the time this short video is over. To truly appreciate how good this investment is, you need to first compare it to the characteristics of the ideal investment. I've asked hundreds of people over the past several years to name the characteristics of the ideal financial vehicle. And without question, everyone, for the most part, says the same thing. People want an investment that is safe from loss, provides good growth, is liquid, and is tax-free. Hopefully agree that any investment that has all four of these characteristics would be ideal. In fact, if you found an investment that had all those characteristics, you would likely put the majority of your money into it. Is the 401k or IRA the ideal investment? Well, it must be, because all the financial experts tell you that it's the first place you should put retirement dollars into. And it's where most people have the largest chunk of their nest egg. Let's take a closer look. Is your 401k or IRA safe from loss? How'd it do in 2008? Most 401ks and IRAs lost 30 to 50%. So no, a 401k or IRA is not safe from loss. Does it have good growth? Well, let's say it does sometimes. You see, the misleading fact that we've all heard is that the stock market has a 100-year track record of earning 8 to 10%. That's true, but who do you know that has a 100-year time horizon to invest their money? Most people have a 10, 20, or 30-year time horizon when it comes to investing money. And there are plenty of 10, 20, or 30-year segments of time that the stock market has been flat. Sure, since the crash of 2008, the market is up about 20% a year. That's terrific. But if you take a look how the market's done since 2000, which includes the 3-year correction from 2000 to 2002 and the crash of 08, the market is up only about 4%, which is a far cry from the 8, 9, or 10% you anticipated. So again, the 401k or IRA passes the good growth test sometimes. How about liquidity? Is your 401k or IRA liquid? Absolutely not. Your money is locked up for 20 to 30 years. In fact, it might be the most illiquid financial vehicle in existence. Lastly, how about taxes? A 401k and IRA are tax deferred, not tax free. And since most people feel that taxes are going higher in the future, a tax deferred 401k or an IRA might be the most tax inefficient vehicle in existence. So there you have it. The 401k and IRA fail 3 out of the 4 characteristics of the ideal investment. Now, perhaps you're saying to yourself, but wait a minute, Dean, I get a match with my 401k. That's free money. Well, in my very strong opinion, if in order to get 20 cents out of you, I'd have to take my dollar along with your 20-cent match and lock it up for 20 to 30 years in a financial vehicle that fails 3 out of the 4 characteristics of the ideal investment? No thanks. You can do better, a lot better. Let me introduce you to the only financial vehicle in the world that is safe, delivers good growth, is liquid, and the money can be accessed tax-free. And it's called indexed universal life insurance. Please do not confuse this with whole life insurance or variable life insurance. And please do not confuse this with an indexed annuity. The name, again, is indexed universal life insurance, or IUL for short. And I'm going to quickly introduce it to you now using the annual policy statement of a 72-year-old client of mine. His name is Phil. Okay, the first thing I want to bring your attention to is how Phil is 72 years old at the time that this annual life insurance statement was issued. How do we prove that? Well, you can see that Phil was 61 years old back in 2006. Well, it's 2017 at the when this policy statement was issued, So you could do the math. He's now 72 years old. Why I'm using this is because if this makes sense, which it will, for a 72-year-old, it is a no-brainer if you're 65, if you're 55, if you're 40, if you're 35, and if you're in your 20s, you absolutely positively have to start putting money into this vehicles, you'll see. So if it's no-brainer for a 72-year-old, you get the idea. Phil had $313,000 in this policy at the beginning of last year. What's very key is he put no premium into the policy. You see the big fat zero there. See, the thinking that you have to pay money into life insurance every single year is not true. He earned, as it says, interest credited. His $313,000 earned $66,717. That is about a 21% return on his money. That all by itself blows the smithereens the notion that life insurance is too conservative. Again, whole life insurance is too conservative. Universal life is too conservative. Indexed universal life can get fantastic returns, as this statement proves all by itself. In short, indexed universal life allows the policyholder to get the majority of the stock market gains with zero of the downside risk. So if you make $66,000 in a taxable investment, depending on where your tax bracket falls into, you're going to pay anywhere from $15,000 in taxes to say $25,000 in taxes, maybe even higher. And you'd be happy to pay that because you just made $66,000. Phil didn't have a tax bill. And I will reference section 7702 of the Internal Revenue Code. Phil has no tax obligation on those $66,000 gains. But what he does have are insurance-related fees. And everybody gets up in arms about the insurance fees. And traditional advisors will tell you the insurance fees are high. They can be high if the policy is designed improperly, which we'll talk about in a second. But look at what the insurance-related fees are for Phil, this 72-year-old man. He pays $1,407 in cost of insurance, and he has expense charges of $90 for a total cost of $1,497 in expenses. That's it. This 72-year-old man doesn't have to pay $20,000 in taxes, but he does have to pay $1,497 in fees. So let me ask you, what would you rather pay? $1,400 in fees, insurance-related fees, or $20,000 in taxes? Of course, that's a no-brainer. So how does Phil earn his $66,000? Let's go to page 2. 50% of his money was tied to the S&P 500, and you can see how he earned 16.82%. And 50% of his money was tied to the NASDAQ 100. He earned 25.84%. So again, this blows the smithereens the notion that life insurance is too conservative. No, it is not. The right kind of policy is not too conservative. Again, Index Universal Life is the right kind of policy. How is this all made possible? We go to page 3. Look at the death benefit on page 3 in the upper right-hand corner. Phil has a $546,000, $875.19 death benefit. Who the heck gets a death benefit down to the penny like that? Well, if you write with an advisor that knows how to properly design these that benefits you, meaning that when you buy life insurance, do you realize for your money you can pick the highest death benefit or the lowest death benefit? We want you to get the lowest death benefit, the smallest death benefit that the IRS will allow you to have that would still classify this policy as life insurance. See, advisors, people who sell life insurance, our commission is based on the size of the death benefit. So most advisors want you to get the highest death benefit because the commission is the biggest. But what's in your best interest is to tell that advisor or that agent to make the death benefit as low as possible. By doing so, what happens? By making it as small as possible, down to the penny, like I did here with Phil, you're going to get the smallest fees. The smaller death benefit, smallest fees are associated with that. So there you have it. You have a 72-year-old man who didn't have to pay $20,000 in taxes. He had $1,500 or less in fees. He made 21% on his money. And this money is completely liquid to him. So we hope you found this quick introduction to Index Universal Life compelling. We're proposing that you put 25 to 50% of your long-term savings into Index Universal Life. We strongly encourage you to forward this video onto your accountant, your attorney, another advisor, or anyone in general that you think knows their stuff when it comes to personal finances. We challenge anyone to put in writing why you shouldn't make IUL a large portion of your financial plan. If somebody won't put in writing why you shouldn't get your own IUL policy, then their opinion doesn't count. The purpose of this video is not to make you an expert on how Index Universal Life works. It's simply meant to introduce you to it and show you some of the compelling features that will cause you to want to pick up the phone and reach out to the advisor that sent you this video. This advisor is somebody that understands how Index Universal Life works, the best insurance companies to work with, and the best way to tailor one of these policies for you, your spouse, or your kids. The advisor can provide you with additional videos and a copy of my book, A Better Financial Plan, How to Significantly Improve Your Finances Without the Help of Wall Street. The videos and my book are designed to provide a more comprehensive look at how IUL works and why you should make it a piece of your portfolio. Thanks for watching.